Once you look past the eye candy, the Note 10 Plus is a formidable big-screen Android phone, with strong performance, a host of new S Pen tricks, including air gestures, and excellent battery life. I also like the fast charging and pro-level video effects, and I really don't mind the headphone jack getting the axe. However, the cameras could be better compared to Google's and Huawei's best efforts. Design, bigger screen, smaller package. I have to give credit to Samsung. They managed to cram a 6.8-inch display into a design that's both thinner and lighter than the Note 9, which had a 6.4-inch display. This is partly because the Note 10 has slimmer bezels, thanks to its Infinity O display with a cutout for the front camera in the top center portion of the screen. Samsung also removed the headphone jack, which at this point feels more inevitable than controversial. It also allows the Note 10 Plus to pack a bigger battery. The good news is that Samsung bundles AKG headphones in the box that use USB-C. Make no mistake, the Note 10 Plus looks and feels like a phablet, especially compared with the regular Note 10 and its 6.3-inch screen. This is definitely a two-handed device, but it's a sleek one. If you like your phone to be flashy, I would pick up the Aura Glow version. The iridescent silver design changes colors based on how the light hits the back of the phone. The only issue is that the Aura Glow model picks up fingerprints quickly. I do have one other nitpick. While I'm glad Samsung ditched the dedicated Bixby button found on previous models, I wish the volume controls and power button were on the right side instead of the left. After all, most people are right-handed. Display, one of the best ever. Short of a foldable phone, you won't find a larger screen on an Android phone than the 6.8-inch AMOLED panel on the Note 10 Plus. And it is a sight to behold, with the same rich colors and wide viewing angles we've come to expect from Samsung. The screen has the same Quad HD Plus resolution as before, but it's certified for HDR10 Plus, compared with HDR10 for the Note 9. The center cutout or punch hole at the top center of the Galaxy Note 10 screen isn't as offensive as the cutout on the Galaxy S10 Plus. That's because this has a single front camera, compared with two on the S10 Plus that are located on the right side. The one letdown with this screen is that it doesn't offer a refresh rate of 90 Hz as some had rumored, which offers smoother performance in phones like the OnePlus 7 Pro. This would have been a welcome upgrade for folks stepping up from the Note 10 to the Note 10 Plus. S Pen. The S Pen has learned some new tricks with the Note 10, but I'm not yet sold on how useful they are. The handwriting to text feature is designed to let you convert your scribbles and import them into Microsoft Word docs. The functionality generally worked during my brief hands-on time, but the phone sometimes missed a letter. More important, it just didn't feel instant. If you like the idea of using the S Pen as a magic wand, there's Air Actions. This S Pen feature lets you do things like change modes in the camera app, by waving the stylus from side to side while pressing the button, or zooming in on a subject by drawing a small circle in the air. I tried the gestures and not all of them worked consistently well. With AR Doodle, Galaxy Note 10 users can draw right on top of people in the camera view, and whatever you draw will follow that person as they move around the frame. It could be fun at parties. Good cameras, but a step behind the competition. Samsung has picked top-of-the-line hardware for its Note 10 Plus smartphone, and has left no stone unturned when it comes to the cameras. The primary rear camera has a 12-megapixel sensor, a variable aperture, and even optical image stabilization. The secondary camera is a 16-megapixel one, with an ultra-wide-angle lens of 123-degree field of view. Next, there's a 12-megapixel telephoto camera, with a 2x optical zoom. Finally, Samsung has also added a depth vision camera, which is a time-of-flight sensor, that can scan objects in 3D. At the front, Samsung has opted for a 10-megapixel selfie shooter. All this hardware won't produce results without good software, and Samsung has stuck with its tried and tested camera app. The layout is similar to what we have seen on the Galaxy S10 series of devices, but now also has stylus integration. You can control the camera using the S Pen stylus via Air Actions gestures. While it is interesting, performing the same actions by interacting with the display is a lot quicker. The Note 10 Plus was super quick to lock focus, and the scene optimizer set the camera correctly for whatever we were shooting. Daylight samples had excellent dynamic range, and the phone enables HDR effectively when the need arises. Objects at a distance were recognizable, as the primary sensor does an excellent job at reproducing detail. Even when shooting in bright conditions, we noticed that the phone could set the exposure without overexposing anything. Switching to the wide-angle camera offers a much wider field of view. Software corrects the natural barrel distortion while saving the image. Photos taken with the telephoto camera also had good details, and objects were recognizable. While shooting close-ups, we were impressed with the low focusing distance of the primary sensor. This allowed us to get a lot closer to the subject than we expected. Portraits turned out quite well, and the Note 10 Plus does give you the option to set the level of blur before taking the image. You can also change the type and level of blur after taking a portrait photo. The Note 10 Plus managed good edge detection and did a very good job at separating the subject from the background. Portraits taken at night had slightly lower levels of detail. Low-light camera performance was very good, and the scene optimizer did make a noticeable difference. It managed to keep noise under control, and grain wasn't highly visible even after zooming in. Objects at a distance were also recognizable. Photos taken in night mode were brighter and had better details, but looked a little over-sharpened. Photos taken with the selfie camera had good details, and the smartphone enabled HDR automatically when shooting against a bright background. The camera app has a beautification effect enabled by default, which softens images. We also noticed that the camera crushed black slightly, which reduced details in the shadows. Portrait mode is available for the selfie camera as well, and it manages good edge detection and blurs the background properly. Selfie taken in low light had lower levels of details. Video recording maxes out at 4K and 60 FPS for the rear camera, and the Note 10 Plus can stabilize footage when recording up to 4K at 30 FPS. We were surprised at how well footage was stabilized when shooting during the day. Super slow-mo video looked stunning when shot in good light. A solid performer. With its Snapdragon 855 processor, the Note 10 should offer comparable performance to the S10 and S10 Plus, but the addition of UFS 3 storage should provide a speed boost. The Note 10 Plus should have plenty of memory for multitasking, as it offers 12 GB of RAM, compared with 8 GB for the regular Note 10. And you get 256 GB of storage, with the option of upgrading to a 512 GB model. Unlike the Note 10, the Note 10 Plus also includes a microSD card slot for expansion. In everyday use, the Note 10 Plus is a swift performer. In fact, it loaded apps like Chrome, Twitter and Facebook slightly faster than the iPhone XS Max. This phablet also ably handled long play sessions in PUBG Mobile. It delivered console-like detail without any stuttering even at the highest setting, and the phone remained relatively cool. Battery life and fast charging. The Galaxy Note 9's battery was the biggest yet in a Galaxy phone at 4000 mAh, but the Note 10 Plus ups the ante with a 4300 mAh battery. On our battery test, which involves continuous web surfing over 4G, the Note 10 Plus lasted an average time of 11 hours 9 minutes. By comparison, the OnePlus 7 Pro lasted just 9 hours 31 minutes, while the iPhone XS Max has a runtime of 10 hours 38 minutes. The Note 10 Plus comes with a 25-watt charger that can get it to 33% battery capacity in just 15 minutes, and 65% in 30 minutes. As you'd expect from a Samsung phone, the Note 10 Plus supports wireless charging. However, the results are disappointing based on our testing. It took 30 minutes to reach just 21%. You can also use reverse wireless charging, which means you can charge the Galaxy Buds or other phones using the back of Samsung's handset. Verdict: the Note 10 Plus looks like the big screen phone to beat. Although the price is quite steep, you get one of the best and most immersive displays ever in a phone, along with strong performance and long battery life. And while Samsung has not caught up to Google and Huawei in photography, the Note 10 Plus is still a very capable camera phone, with a compelling night mode and intriguing video effects. If you really want an S Pen with your phone but don't want to spend as much, the 6.3-inch Note 10 should satisfy. It has the same processor and mostly the same cameras, minus the depth sensor on the back, in a more compact design than the Note 10 Plus. But if you want a really big screen, the Note 10 Plus is worth the splurge, as it also offers more RAM and microSD expansion, along with longer battery life. The 6.4-inch S10 Plus is a good in-between option, as it provides comparable performance to the new Notes, along with a headphone jack. Overall though, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is an ultra-premium big-screen phone that you'll be psyched to use.